All right, doctors, this is Dr. Aaron Gum, founder of Blueprint to Practice Automation, yourautomatedpractice.com. I want to go over some simple strategies within our model, what we offer as a company, how it can help you focus on the work that matters. At the end of this, I'm going to go over 2 strategies that can make a huge impact on your practice, your collections, your patient results. We have a lot of strategies within our business model, but I'm going to lead with these couple strategies to get you thinking in the direction of how we work as a company and the potential with our programs. So, first of all, I want to go over how to get the most value out of Blueprint to Practice Automation. Really, Blueprint to Practice Automation has a passion in enabling healthcare practitioners to optimize their practices. We're really just making things more efficient, more cost effective, better clinical results, which is number 1 in our book, is clinical results and getting patients better. Some examples of practice optimization include introducing new methods, practices, and systems that reduce bottlenecks. I'm going to go over some examples of these when we go through this process. Reducing costs while improving performance, automation of repetitive tasks, increasing collections through enhancing patient satisfaction, reducing all kinds of waste such as wasted time and repeat work. And then the 6 goals of practice optimization BPA seeks to consistently evolve are developing practitioners into CEOs, support and train develop teams, streamline operations, better manage resources, maintain consistency and quality, and reduce risks. All of these things we've always continually worked on over the last 7 years. We've been in business for 7 years. We've helped over 1,500 doctors scale their practices. It's one of the reasons why we've been on the Inc. 500 list twice. We've been on the Inc. 5000 list twice, and we're about to make the Inc. 5000 list again. I truly believe Blueprint to Practice Automation is the present and the future clinical business model. This is where healthcare is going. Being able to scale your practice, pushing home care at home, online education. Patient want easy access to their doctor, want easy access to their protocol. They want easy access to the results. And that's what Blueprint to Practice Automation helps do. And a lot of chiropractors coming out of school, we become very busy within the chiropractic model, but we're really not a true CEO of our business. We have a glorified job. We wear a lot of hats. We're chained to our practice. If we leave, our practice doesn't make money, or if we leave, it starts going downhill. So we got to start thinking differently on how we operate our business. We're here to build around the chiropractic model. We're not here to change it, but we're here to build around it to be able to get to that next level of practice and freedom in your life and in your business that you're looking for. So when we compared the Blueprint to Practice Automation system to every single management company out there. We had a research company do this, and they went out and did all the research for us, and they made a list of what we offer compared to every single management company out there. So I'm going to read off down this list what we offer as a company. I'm not going to go back and forth of who doesn't offer what and what we do, and we offer it here. I'm just going to read down the list, and I'm going to add some things to it, but you can look at the list and see who offers what. So BPA protocols and training, we have 16 different clinical niches, which means that you can add 16 different clinical niches onto chiropractic: neuropathy, knee pain, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, gut health, weight loss, decompression, a lot of different ones. I can't even remember them all. But we have 16 different clinical niches that are automated, that are systematized. The majority of the care is at home and online. Doesn't take up a lot of your time in the office. You only see the patient once a week. There's a lot of different things that are valuable to having clinical niches built around chiropractic. And a lot of our clinics are adding 2 niches, and they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling their practice just with 2 or 3 niches. We have our clinical support system, which I'll go over here in a little bit. And then we have our coaching. We have 9 platinum doctors, and on average, they collect around $300,000 a month. And it's not about the money. It's about their expertise, their ability to implement blueprints. So you have access to those coaches when you need to schedule calls. We have digital practice assessment with steps. So you can actually assess your practice in our digital practice assessment. And it's going to tell you every area of your business that you're weak on. And then we have the solutions for those weaknesses that you can go through modules and get on coaching calls and work through those to get better at that part of your business. I believe ultimately that part alone is worth our fee in full. Because you're not growing because of weaknesses in your business. They're bottlenecks. They're keeping you plateaued at the areas you're at, and you're not even recognizing what areas those are until you take that practice assessment. We have CEO business training tools. We have 70 plus tools that go through strategy, team, and operations, those three categories of your business. Those are the solutions when you take that digital assessment. So you take that digital assessment and you have a CEO tool to go through to get better at that area of your business. We have live weekly Zoom trainings on different topics. Great way to plug into training. Designated plug and play protocols. So we have hybrid clinical protocols, which are 90% at home and online. And then we have full virtual protocols that are 100% online. So a lot of our metabolic programs are 100% online and at home, where you're not taking any of your time, but you're making a big impact on the patient results and a big impact on your collections. And then you have your research and evidence-based protocols. We don't use off-label products. We use things that have been researched and have evidence-based behind them. We want to get clinical results. It's probably our number one initiative as a company, is to make a bigger impact in every doctor's community. That's one part of our mission statement, is to help one life at a time through every community, through every doctor. And then we have our FDA cleared protocol equipment for each hybrid niche. So we're not using any products that are made in China or distributed out of someone's garage or whatever it may be. We use FDA cleared home equipment. That's what we put our stamp on. We want the stuff that's going to work. Maybe a slightly more expensive than the cheaper stuff, but what would you give your grandma? You'd give your grandma the FDA cleared equipment to get her better, right? So when we look at, we have a drop ship and auto ship product distribution. So you don't have to hold inventory of any of the products. We have a distribution process that you can drop ship it straight to the patient. So instead of having stuff on your shelf for 10 new patients, which is eating up your marketing money or money you invest into an associate or money you invest into your business, we hold the stock for you. You can drop ship it straight to the patient once the patient starts. We have an automated patient seminar, automated day 1 and day 2 education. So instead of you having to educate the patient in a live seminar, we have an automated one. You do the introduction, you close it out, you push play and let the video do the work. We've been doing this for 7 years. We have it down to a pat. We have perfected this process. You should be getting an 80% sign-up rate if you're doing it the way we teach it. Day 1 education, you don't have to do the education. We have an automated video to do that. Same thing with day 2. So when we automate that acquisition process, it saves you a ton of time. If you look at it from a 40 patient standpoint, you're saving 20 hours in that 40 patient process. All 40 of those patients going through a process, you're saving about 20 hours of time. Now you can reinvest that time back into your business, allowing you to be able to reinvest that money or time or effort, maybe into your family or into your vacations or into your team training by saving that time. We have automated patient education. So once a patient becomes a patient, you enroll them into that software. It educates them for you. You don't lift a finger. It does all the work for you. It tracks them. It keeps them accountable. So you don't have to worry about anything. And then we have our consultation and ROF training. So for your case managers or yourself or your associates that are doing day 1, day 2, we have simulators that you can go through. We have day 1 and day 2 curriculums. So you can actually train anytime you want on your own time at all times on that day 1, day 2 communication process. We have phone training. We have a phone call simulator. Same thing for your girls and gals at the front desk answering those calls coming in. If you're spending money on marketing, you want to be answering the calls correctly. So we have the curriculum that you can go through. Then we have a simulator. All of our simulators simulate a day 1 conversation, simulate a day 2 conversation, and simulate a phone call. It's a really cool technology. We're the only ones that have it in the industry, that you can actually, it's like a boot camp. You can actually listen to this in 10, 15 minutes before your day starts and go into the day ready for that day 1, day 2, or phone call. And then we have our automated digital staff training. So your staff can go through any of the training on their own time, anytime. It's on our platform. You can actually assign assignments to your staff and make sure that they do them. It tells you when it's done. You can actually check if they didn't do it. So it keeps your staff accountable as well as they go through the training. And then we have our no travel implementation business model. So a lot of times you have to travel. So if you think of a franchise, you have to fly in, go through a week training to learn the basis of the business. You have to do training with the higher up or the execs on that franchise. Well, with our model, we're a licensure, we're not a franchise, but with our model, everything is online. We do have 4 events throughout the year that you can come to and train live, but they're optional. But you can implement our business model without having to travel at all. And then we have let's see here, where am I at? We have our concierge onboarding process. So we have a really, really structured onboarding process with our team. We're the only one in the industry that does this. We have a very concierge process where we have a team that all they do is onboard new clients, and they have it down to a pat. They know exactly what you need to be doing. They have a checklist. They keep you accountable. They keep you organized throughout that process. So you're not having to think about it. You just have to go through the content, and they'll guide you through it to make sure that your success is tied to your onboarding process. We have an A to Z knowledge base. So what's really cool is any type of asset in our platform, you can search it, and it'll actually pull that asset. So if you type in day one, anything involving day one is going to come to the surface. You can actually find it really fast. Again, that's working more efficiently in an automated format to save you time, so you're not searching. I don't know how many programs I've been in personally where you're searching for the thing that you need and you just don't know how to find it. We've solved that problem for you. We have marketing training strategies. We have peer collaboration live training events. So like I said, we have our annual event where we have 700 to 800 people, 900 people come. We have huge keynote speakers. We do some BPA, some blueprint training as well. We have Ed Milet. We've had John Gordon. We've had Nick Vujicic. A lot of really high level keynote speakers. And then we have 2 to 3 boot camp style trainings where we do a lot of breakouts and we train on day 1, day 2, marketing, business development. So we have those throughout the year, and you can come to those if that's something that you would like to do. We have a peer collaboration Facebook page, great Facebook page where you can actually go in and collaborate with other people in the BPA family. And when I say BPA, I mean Blueprint to Practice Automation. So you can ask a question and get 15 different doctors giving you their perspective. It's a great way to get quick answers, quick perspective of what's happening in other doctors' offices. And then we have our national referral network. So we probably produce 30 to 40 referrals a week, where a doctor in California has a patient that has their dad that's in New York that's looking for neuropathy solution or a knee pain solution or a gut health solution. You can go right to the page, patient puts their name in, and we'll connect them with the Blueprint doc. And then we have a four-year Inc. 500 and 5,000 awarded business model. I talked about that before. We have been awarded on the Inc. list 3 years in a row, about to be 4. And that's a big achievement. It's not bragging about ourselves, but it's a proof that our model works. We're the fastest growing chiropractic business model in the profession, and we'll continue to do that because we keep evolving and we keep improving our processes along the way. And then exclusively vetted vendor select section. You don't have to go find vendors for things. We have all the vendors vetted out. We have a whole team that does this. We vet them out. We make sure that they produce results, that they have a great product, they have a great service. So you actually go, and we negotiated prices with all of our vendors for our members as well. And then we have our access to C-level business consulting. So this is something that we're in the development of now. We're introducing some C-level business consulting where you'll have access to C-level consultants where they're used to working with organizations and scaling organizations and making financial decisions around the business, high-level business topics that we'll have access to as well. And then we took that whole entire list that I just read through and we categorized those as I went over in the top of this document. And if you want to dive deeper into these categories and what they mean and read more about it, I would definitely encourage you to download the PDF and go through the actual categories and read through them. So we have develop practitioners and CEOs, support to train and develop teams, streamline operations, better manage resources, maintain consistency and quality, reduce risks. And then we have our BPN difference. The BPN difference is our Blueprint nutrition system and products. So when practitioners think about what to do with nutrition in their practices, it sometimes gets confusing. When we think about the Blueprint Nutrition System, optimizes one of the most common pain points for practitioners and eliminates the guessing work. Before practitioners implement our system, common questions they ask themselves are, should I offer condition-specific nutrition? Do I have the time for ongoing nutrition support? How am I going to stock inventory? How am I going to train my team? How am I going to educate my patients? What products produce the best clinical results? The Blueprint Nutrition System is the best in the industry and has removed all these hurdles. With the system and team behind you, you now can have the freedom that you want of growing your practice. So when we look at every other nutrition company, we had a research company do this as well, every nutrition company out there, and then what the Blueprint Nutrition System offers, I'll go through that list as well, just like I did the Blueprint to Practice Automation. So when we look at the BPN differences, the no minimum private label order quantities, when you look at private label products, you're going to have to order at least a minimum of 72 units to private label it. That's the requirements of most nutrition companies. And that's just one product. So if we look at, let's say, this kit here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products in that kit in the image, right? So 72 times 6, you take that times the amount of what the product is, you have thousands of dollars just to be able to private label a product. We've taken that on for you and hold all the stock for you. No retail competition direct to patient, which means that we don't sell it to patients directly. We've created this system to protect our doctors from the patients trying to go around them to try to find the products. Every nutrition company out there sells their products online. Doctor formulated for highest clinical relevance. Obviously, that's important. We have our own formulators. We formulate to get results, period. And then we have our multi-supplement infused formulas. There's no one out there that does this. So let's say we have a protein powder with 4 other full products in that protein powder. It does a couple different things. It allows us to consolidate how many things the patient's taking. And the technology that we use to infuse those formulas, each scoop has the equal amount of all 4 or 5 of those products in one scoop. It's a great technology, and it's a great way to consolidate our products to help patients be more compliant. We have cohesive formulas for combining niches. So one of our strategies is combining niches. Let's say a neuropathy patient comes in and they have gut health issues as well. So they need both protocols. We have a combined niche formulas. They can actually treat both conditions at once instead of taking 15, 20, 30 different products to treat that condition. So with the ability to infuse our formulas and combine the protocols together, it allows you to treat more than one condition all at the same time. Prepackaged design kits for multiple niches. So all of our kits are private labeled, just like on the picture. Private labeled, has a patient handbook. The products are private labeled. They're designed to match the online education. They're designed to match the videos that they see. It's a full circle patient experience that we've created, a branded experience where that patient feels like it's all connected and everything makes sense the way it's formatted. Then we have our niche specific patient guides that come with each kit. So if a patient likes going the manual way and educating them through a manual process, patient guide is excellent for that. And then we have our automated digital patient education, which I talked about already. You enroll your patients into the automated education. It coincides with the guidebook. It talks about products in that education. It talks about the condition. So it reinforces the protocol, which increases patient compliance. So they have the patient guide, which increases patient compliance. They have the online education, which increases compliance. And then you have the full branded experience, which increases compliance as well. Then we have our product benefit sheets for patient education. So if the patient's asking, hey, I want to know more information about this product, we have the product sheets that you can hand over to them. Protocol quick reference sheets for patient education. And so basically when we look at the protocol as a whole, we have a sheet that talks about the entire protocol right there on one sheet that they actually look at and say, okay, that makes sense why I'm doing the things I'm doing. And then we have our tech sheets for doctor communication. Let's say you're co-treating a patient with another doctor, or the doctor's asking a question about a product. You can pull that product sheet out, send it to the doctor, and they know exactly what that product has in it, what it's for, why you're using it. So it's great for other doctor communication. Brand synergy throughout the patient journey, which I talked about a minute ago. The whole entire brand creates a patient experience. Patient experience is very, very important. If you have two products from here and one product from there, and you have a product over here, it doesn't match the patient handbook, it doesn't match the online education, that patient starts creating doubt in their mind, and that creates an unsatisfied patient. So patient experience is very important. And then dietary restriction options, we hold stock for private labeled, so we hold all the stock for you, and then we can hold all the stock for auto ship. So we have a technology that you can auto ship products. Let's say a patient's on a maintenance product, you can auto ship to the patient every month. But we hold all the stock for you if that's what you want. And then we have our third-party testing for ingredient accuracy. So all of our products are third-party tested. We're GMP certified, which is the highest certification you can have as a nutrition company. They're all third-party tested, which is very crucial for clinical results and clearance. And then we have our dedicated clinical support specialists. So anytime that you need help on a protocol or a question about a product, we have clinical support specialists that you can actually jump on a call with, chat with, whatever that means is, email, and they'll get you the answer right away. So next, we're going through a couple of the examples I was talking about, the strategies that I was talking about. So let's talk about the pain niche strategy. So with the pain niche strategy, it could be neuropathy, it could be knee pain, decompression, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, whatever it may be. I'm going to use neuropathy as an example throughout this strategy. So neuropathy case fee, average case fee, $7,000. Total gross revenue off of 10 patients, $70,000. The hard cost for each patient, around $1,300, including the nutrition and the home care equipment, which equals $13,000 total hard cost for that patient when all 10 of those patients. And then we have our marketing costs. We'll say it costs $3,000 to get those 10 patients to start. And I'm just giving you $3,000 as an example. Maybe you start off with $1,500. Maybe you start off with $1,000. Maybe you start off with $2,000. I'm just giving you a round number example just for you to understand the strategy. Not every number on here is exact. I'm just giving you examples. So say it costs you $3,000 to get those patients started. So total expenses are $16,000 out of that $70,000 of gross revenue. So we take that $70,000 of gross revenue that we got from those 10 patients, we subtract the $16,000, which is the total expenses, and you have $54,000 of net profit off of 10 patients. We take that $54,000 and we'll say we'll repeat that for 12 months. That's $648,400 of annual net profit off just 10 starts of neuropathy for 12 months. Now we have doctors starting 30 starts, 25 starts, 41 starts. So I just used an average number. I feel like that anyone could hit pretty easily at 10 starts. And what that does for an impact for your patients, one, your community, two, and then your annual net profit off of 10 starts a month, off of one niche. This is just one niche, guys. So some things to consider. $54,000 is equivalent to 1,080 chiropractic adjustments if you're charging $50 per visit, and you're seeing that patient three times a week or twice a week. So it's 3 times the operating costs, which I'm not even including in these numbers. And when I say operating costs, it's taking the doctor's time, the associate's time, the staff's time. So there's operating costs that cost you money for your staff to be busy. So if I can take those operating costs out and have them come in a third of the time, and your operating costs are freed up, now we can concentrate on high impact revenue tasks in your office. But again, let's say you're only charging $30 a visit. You got to up those visits. So these are example numbers, but $54,000 of net profit in a month's time is a lot of chiropractic adjustments. You see the patient 1 time per work week versus 3 times a week. 90% of the care is at home and online. Patient home care products can be drop shipped directly to the patient, like I talked about earlier. Operating costs are lower, less time and energy to spend serving these patients. If they're only coming in once a week, you're freed up to do other things. They're not coming in 3 times a week. The majority of their care is at home and online and through home protocols. And then by adding a niche outside chiropractic, you are reaching the other 85 to 90% that chiropractic doesn't. So you can see in just this one strategy, there's so much opportunity of raising revenue, helping more people in your community without doing 2/3 of the work if you're building off chiropractic. I'm not saying chiropractic, we have to get rid of chiropractic, but this is a great way to build around your chiropractic model and get to your numbers that you're trying to hit as a business in a profitability standpoint, to be able to pour into your staff or hire more staff or take more vacations or just put more money in the bank. Because to do it with chiropractic, the numbers tell the truth. If you're collecting $40,000 a month, seeing 300 patients a week, then we got to see 600 patients a week to make $80,000 a month. Well, not in this case with these models. So the next strategy, adding metabolic niches to your practice. So let's just give a couple of examples. Let's say you have 300 active patients. And when I say metabolic niches, we have weight loss, we have gut health, we have autoimmune, we have thyroid, we have keto, and we have a really cool intake form that your patient fills out. It gives them a metabolic score. It tells you exactly what program that they qualify for. So when we look at this, let's say you have 300 active patients. And let's say we're able to add, we do some email blasts, we do some internal promotions, which we have all the training around as well. Let's say 10% of your active patients become a patient. And I believe a lot of us probably have more than 300 active patients or 300 inactive patients that used to come in. Let's say 10%, and we got 30 patients from that paid you $17.97 a month, or $17.97 for that program. Okay, that's the average cost of a metabolic program. Some are more, some are around there, probably around $19.97 versus $17.97. But let's just use this as an example. From that $17.97, with 30 patients, that's $53,910 of gross profit. Okay. Look at the hard costs. So from those 30 patients, it costs you $400, the average kit cost, okay, that you drop ship to the patient or you have it in your office. Kit cost, what's an average of $400? Let's say that. Total hard cost is $12,000. Your marketing cost didn't cost you anything because you used your existing patients or your past inactive patients. The total expenses are $12,000. Okay, so we take that $53,910. You minus the $12,000 of expenses of the hard cost of the programs. You profited $41,910. Okay. So when we look at 30 new patients a month, let's say you're getting 30 new chiropractic patients a month, and we're adding metabolic niches to 30% of those patients. And the reason why that percentage is higher is because it's easier to do it with a new patient versus going back to a patient that maybe doesn't come to your office anymore, or you're trying to add service onto it. But if you look at the whole scheme of things, it's about the same percentages. So when we look at, let's say, adding to 30% of those patients, that's 9 patients out of 30 patients a month. Okay, we take that $17.97 times those 9 patients. That's $16,173 gross profit. You take the hard cost, which is $3,600. No marketing cost. Again, we're just adding it onto our chiropractic patients that we're already paying for marketing or however we're getting them in. Total hard cost, $3,600. We take that $16,173 minus $3,600. That's $12,573 per month. And these are just really conservative numbers, guys. I really feel like they could do a lot better than this, but I want to give you some low numbers so you can actually, I like under promising and over delivering. But when we look at that, we're taking the $41,910 profit from the top one, okay, from your inactive and active patients. We're taking your monthly profit of $12,573 times 12 months. You're looking at $192,786 of annual profit. It's pretty good. Off of just adding metabolic niches to your current patients, inactive patients, and your monthly new patients. Things to consider on this, okay? Let's listen to this. Care is 100% at home and online, zero effort in the office. Doesn't take any of your time in the office. Maybe a couple questions here and there, but you can always point it back to the online education, their patient handbook. Software tracks the patient and keeps them accountable. They can log their foods, they can log their water intake. It reminds them of things they should be doing. They can send messages to your office through the virtual messaging center. That's how the software works. So you can communicate with them through the messaging center versus them coming in and asking questions. You can train your patients on how to submit questions. Then you manage the software, not the patient. Patient questions come in, you answer them through the software. Patient products can be drop shipped directly to the patient as we hold the stock. Again, you could be adding this to chiropractic, drop ship it to the patient. Add it to chiropractic, drop it, ship it to the patient. Adding it to knee, drop it, ship it to the patient. So this strategy is a very simple one. If you look at the net profit, that's a conservative number. I mean, that is way higher than what you're investing into our company. The cost of our program, I mean, you're quadrupling your investment with just the metabolic system alone, more than quadrupling. I think you pay, on average, probably 18 to 20 grand a year and to make $192,786. And going back here, what's to say you only do a one pain niche, cost you 20 grand a year, and you're making $648,400 off of conservative numbers? Let's say you're doing both of them together. You're making close to $1 million, $900,000 a year off of this tiny investment. So I'm glad I got to go through this, guys. This is what I enjoy, is going through strategy. I do encourage you, if you're on the fence or thinking about starting Blueprint to Practice Automation, this is a no-brainer. We have an entire team behind you. We have systems and processes behind you. We have 4 years of Inc. 500 and 5,000 results behind you. And we're here to make an impact on our doctors, their communities, their patients' lives, and humanity in general. So God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.